I try simple and it never works out for me. I don't even think you can see it, but it's there. Blend out. I was literally gonna say blend. I use all kinds of weird words when describing how I apply eyeshadow, I guess. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing another palette review. This is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette. I wasn't going to pick up this palette, but then they had it on sale for $10.80 at Ulta, and I was like, I gotta jump on that. Honestly, I am on Morphe's PR list, but they don't send me everything, and I was like waiting for them to send it to me, and then I just didn't want to wait anymore. I'm also going on a trip in a couple of days. As you're watching this, I am on my trip. I'm in Puerto Rico, and I wanted a palette that could give me every single neutral look I could think of. And this was it, and it was so affordable that I was like, I gotta jump on it, and you know what, I might as well film a video. And in this video I do swatches, and I also do 3 looks with this palette. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I do a ton of palette reviews just like this. And let's get into this video. This is the palette. I really actually like the packaging. It is cardboard, but it's also magnetic. It's very similar to her other palettes, like especially the ones on the Volts. I'm pretty sure I don't own those, but they do remind me of that packaging. I've seen them in store before. I do own volume 1 and volume 2 of her other palettes with Morphe, and I have to say that those are my favorite Morphe formula. Otherwise, Morphe isn't that great in my opinion. The mattes are a little chalky and the shimmers are very, very, very lackluster, but Jaclyn knows how to formulate eyeshadows, and the palettes that she has come out with Morphe are some of the best palettes in my collection, and I genuinely like them, and they're very affordable, so I love them even more because of the price point. This was on sale for $10.80 at Ulta. By the time you're watching this, I'm not sure if it will be anymore. Those of you that know me know that I enjoy colorful looks. I enjoy colorful eyeshadow palettes. This is not a palette that I was running out to go grab, but I was like, I need something for my trip, so I decided to buy it, especially because it was on sale. This is the palette, and I'm really, really loving the color story. I like the selection of neutrals in this palette, and I think there are a lot of looks that you can create. I did create 3 looks, and I still feel like I have in my imagination, in my brain, like a bunch more looks that I can create with this palette. I think it's a really great everyday palette. If your makeup collection is not very big and you're just looking for a palette that will give you everything you need, this is it. Especially because to a lot of people, neutrals mean brown tones like this, so it is perfect. I think that her selection of mattes and shimmers, like color story wise, is amazing for everyday looks. You can smoke things out. I really, really enjoyed this palette a lot, and I think that the mattes in this palette are some of the best Morphe has ever done, and they're very, very on par with her other palettes. If you have the other 2 palettes, do I think you need this? Maybe not. You could probably find these in the other palettes. I didn't do comparisons. I really should have. Why did I buy this? Well, because this is a very sleek palette that I could take with me anywhere, and it's not going to be that big volume 1 or volume 2 palette that does have these neutrals in them, but it also has the pops of color, you know what I mean? And it has a mirror, which I really like, so it's perfect for travel. Like, this is exactly what I needed. It's very sleek as well. This is made in China, but honestly, I think it's great quality. If you are a beginner makeup artist or you're just starting to get into makeup, this is a great palette for you because it won't break the bank, and it's a really good formula. I'm definitely taking this with me to Puerto Rico, and I'm so excited to see the looks that I create with it. Okay, with that being said, let's get into the looks now. For this first look, I want to keep it kind of simple. We'll see how it goes because I try simple and it never works out for me. I'm going to take the shade Good Vibes, which is like a medium tone brown. I'm going to use this as my transition shade. I was going to go in with the lighter one, but when I swatched it barely shows up, honestly. I mean, I probably could use it. Maybe one of these looks will actually be an everyday look. This matte builds up and blends out beautifully. It is true to color. The way you see it in the pan is the way it's coming out on the eyes, which is generally the way I feel about Morphe palettes. I'm gonna take that same shade on the lower lash line just because I try to keep this as simple as possible. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the shade Booked, which is like a warm tone, like a deeper brown. It's also a little bit more red tone. I'm just gonna deepen out the outer corner just a little bit, and then with whatever's left on my brush, I'll take that in the crease. I just don't want the crease to be too dark for this look. Personally, I'm trying to keep it like an everyday look, you know? This is gorgeous though. Look at how they blend. I am a fan of Morphe eyeshadows. Like, I know people, I don't know, they have beef with them, whatever, but honestly, I think that for the price, the quality is very, very good. I'm just gonna take the original brush that I used with no additional product and blend out the outer edges. Sometimes the browns are so similar that they do blend into one another, but this is not the case here. I'm gonna take a tiny bit more of the darker shade and just kind of pat it in the outer edge I'm also just going to take it on the lower lash line while I'm at it. Gorgeous. On the lid, I'm going to take a shimmer. I think I want one of my looks for this video to be an all matte look. Just a really nice wearable everyday all matte look. But for the purposes of this particular look, I'm going to take the shade Birthday Suit on the lid. Let's see how it performs by itself without any setting spray. I'm not even going to cut my crease or anything like that. That is a stunning shadow, honestly. By no means is it Natasha Denona Pat McGrath quality, but no setting spray needed. Look at how pretty that comes out. It's very, very smooth and buttery to the touch. Like when I swatched it, I was like, wow, very, very pigmented, opaque. Like one swipe and you got your pigmentation. It's not my favorite shimmer formula out there. It's very much a foiled shimmer, whereas like I like an intense crumbly metallic where it's like super intense on the eyes. Like usually that's what I go for, but honestly this is so gorgeous. I'm also just gonna take the shade Striptease on the outer edge just to like deepen out the lid as well. Those two together are gorgeous. Like a gorgeous bronze smoky eye. Oh my gosh, you could totally do that with this palette. So far I am very, very impressed. And then in the inner corner, I'm gonna take All Lux. I don't know what that means, but whatever. This is like a more pink champagne colored shade. Perfect for the inner corner. The best part is when I say I'm gonna do an everyday look and I put on this kind of lash. I love the way this look turned out. It's such a fun, I would honestly wear this every day, but I know it's not for everybody. I want to do a little bit more of a calm down look next, like with maybe even no lashes, but I had to put on lashes because this look is so gorgeous. I'm loving this so far. I think the mattes are gorgeous. The shimmers are very, very great for an everyday and an affordable palette. So anyway, yeah, let's move on to look number 2. Okay, like I said, this next look is gonna be a really, really simple, everyday, like very wearable look. So the first shade I'm gonna go in with is Just Barely, which is the perfect transition shade for an everyday look. Let's see how it shows up on my skin tone. This might be a shade that actually works better on deeper skin tones, only because like it'll contrast with their skin tone because it's so light. This one is basically my skin tone, but this is probably a very good shade to like buff out any deeper mattes in the crease because it's such a like powder shade. It's like literally my skin tone. I love it. I'm just gonna sweep that on the lower lash line as well. Might as well. I don't even think you can see it, but it's there. Next, I'm gonna go in with the shade Good Vibes, which I know I took in the last one. I just don't want to make this too deep yet. I might go in with a deeper one. We'll see. I want to keep this very, very simple and like everyday. I'm gonna concentrate that on the outer corner and bring it into the crease. What the heck? This is so pretty. Totally an everyday look. I love it. I'm gonna take a little bit of that first shade, Just Barely, and just kind of like buff out the outer edges. This is really just to really make sure everything is blended out. Blend out. I was literally gonna say blend. I take that on the lower lash line as well. Personally, I cannot leave my lower lash line bare, but if you don't like doing that, then you can leave it bare, obviously. On the lid, I'm gonna take Chic Happens, which is this matte shade, because for an everyday look, a lot of people don't really like the shimmer. I personally love shimmer for an everyday look, but that's just me. So I'm just gonna put that all over the lid. Take a little bit more of Good Vibes and just kind of blend that into the lid shade. Make sure everything is really nice and blended. For some reason, this eye looks gorgeous and this eye looks horrible. Y no sé por qué. I mean, and I don't know why. User error though, I'm pretty sure, because like I could do it on one side, why can't I do it on the other side though? Like, what is wrong with me? I'm gonna take a dot of Boo Bear, like a little dot. I haven't used this one yet, and just like really kind of smoke out that outer corner. Just like tiny bit. I don't know. I like depth. You totally can leave it the way I had it before. Personally, I like a shimmer in the inner corner, but you could totally just drag a little bit of that matte shade we took. I'm gonna take All Lux and just put that in the inner corner. I don't know. That little pop of shimmer is just so gorgeous to me. I love it. Pop on some lashes if you want. For the purposes of this, I am not actually going to pop on some lashes, which is crazy because I love lashes. But I'm going to be using the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. This is my favorite mascara at the moment. I do still have some on from the last look that I just did for this video. It's a tubing mascara, so it kind of is more difficult to take off, which is why I use it when I do a 3 looks 1 palette, because it just kind of flakes off instead of coming off and making my under eyes look like a raccoon. So 2 layers of this is not really recommended, so I really should have taken this off because now they're gonna look a little clumpy, but it is what it is. This mascara is amazing on the lower lash line because it doesn't give you the raccoon eye because it's a tubing mascara, so it just kind of stays put. It's amazing. It did clump quite a bit today because you're really not supposed to put 2 layers on, especially after the first layer is dry. So this is the final second look. I'm really loving how this turned out. Like I said, super simple everyday look. I really like it. Honestly, I was thinking about it and I'm like, oh, you know what I should have done? But I really wanted to keep it simple for people that like don't like wearing like a lot of makeup on a daily basis. You could smoke out the darkest brown as a liner, and that would look super cute as well. I've done that before. I've even made it into a wing liner and it looks super pretty. If you want to up your look another notch, then that's the way to do it, I think. But yeah, I mean, I really like this look the way it turned out. Anyway, it's very simple but super pretty. Let's get into the third look. Okay, for this last look, I kind of want to do a little bit of a smoky eye. I definitely want to incorporate Risque Business because it's like more of a burgundy tone. We're gonna go in first with Just Barely, which is that really nice transition shade that barely has any pigment, to be honest, but it's a really nice transition shade. I'm gonna wing it out a little bit, just really smoke this out. I just love this shade, especially for an everyday look. I'm not trying to do an everyday look, but it's a really great transition shade that will help blend any other crease shade you put. Next, I'm gonna go in with Boo Bear. It's quite a jump, but I'm gonna see how much this blends out. I don't know, I kind of want like this reddish tone brown. I wish there was like a lighter bit of a reddish tone brown, like a medium tone. This is kind of dark. I'm gonna stamp it in the outer corner and then blend it out. I want to wing it out a little bit. I love this shade. This shade you can definitely blend out so it appears a little lighter. You could probably also use it to deepen it out. And with whatever's left on my brush, I'm just gonna take that in the crease. It's blending out so nicely. I love the mattes in this palette. So now I'm just gonna take a little bit more of Just Barely and kind of help blend that out. I'm also just gonna shove it on the lower lash line. Use shove it instead of fluff it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I use all kinds of weird words when describing how I apply eyeshadow, I guess. These mattes just blend so effortlessly. It's kind of insane. I'm just gonna take Boo Bear on the lower lash line as well. I'm gonna really deepen out the outer corner with the shade Cinnamon Roll, which I actually haven't used yet. Have I? No. It's a new day, so I'm confused. I don't even know what I've done. I want to see how this really smokes out this outer corner right here. I'm just going to concentrate this on the outer corner. I do already see that there's very little difference when you apply it on the eye from Cinnamon Roll to Boo Bear. Even though they are different in the pan, they look different. Like Cinnamon Roll looks way darker, but it's not coming across as deep as I would like, to be honest. It's almost a black in the pan, but on the eyeballs, not so much. I am going to take a little bit more Boo Bear before this gets too out of control and just kind of help blend that out, even though they look so similar. Honestly, I'm confused. It's blending out nicely though. I like it. I'm also just going to run that on the lower lash line as well. Might as well really smoke out the lower lash line. On the lid, like I said, I'm going to take Risque Business. I just love the tone of this shimmer shade, so let's see how it performs. I'm going to spray a little bit of setting spray. There you go. Yeah, definitely spray the shimmers. Gorgeous though. The shimmers are nice, but they're definitely not like the best. I mean, I've been spoiled by Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath. I think that's the issue. I just compare everything to those when I know that Morphe's whole vibe isn't to be that intense metallic. These are just really nice shimmer. They're everyday shimmers, you know what I mean? I mean, they're nice, but they're not my favorite. I'm definitely way more impressed by the mattes. I think the mattes are very good quality. Just gonna blend a tiny bit more of Cinnamon Roll into the shimmer shade. Just make sure everything's really nice and blended. And in the inner corner, I'm actually gonna take Chic Happens, which is the matte. I want the matte vibes in the inner corner for this look. I don't know why. Okay, so this is the final look. Let me tell you guys, I am really happy with this palette, especially for the price. I paid $10.80, but I think even full price, this palette is worth it. It is such a stunning palette. I really particularly love the mattes. I love the shimmers as well. I think it's great for every day. I bought it with the purposes of taking it for travel as a one and done palette for neutral looks, and this is exactly what it's gonna give me. I am taking it with me to Puerto Rico. I'm really excited because I think I could create a lot of looks. You can create so many looks with this palette that I didn't even get to touch on the surface of the looks you can create with this palette. You might look at it and think it's boring, but it's not. It's like really versatile, I feel like, and I think that she curated the perfect amount of shades, the right shades for a multitude of people. I think a lot of people will get a ton of use out of this. It's a great everyday palette. It's a great going out palette. You can create a smoky eye. You can create a very, very simple everyday look and something in between as well. I think that there are so many fun shades in here and I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it. If you know me, you know I don't really go for neutrals. I generally like color a lot more. So this is like me saying this is crazy. Honestly, I would buy this full price. That's how much I did enjoy it. I wasn't gonna buy it, but then I was like, you know what? I just really need a palette that has every single neutral brown shade that I could need when going on a trip because I don't have a palette that has that. I think it's still on sale at Ulta. I did check this morning. I think it's still $10.80. I don't know if by the time I upload this it won't be on sale, but either way I think this is worth it full price. It is a very nice and sleek palette. Definitely worth the money. But yeah, that completes this video. Let me know which look was your favorite. I have to say I'm really digging this smoky eye. I think it's so much fun and I haven't done like a vampy smoky eye like this in so long. I'm obsessed with it. But let me know which one was your favorite because I would love to know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Got hair on my hand. Hello. I really in particularly a lot of the palettes I have a bunch of like colors, like what is it called? Like pops of color.